Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Wellness with Linda. Today I'm going to be doing it a little bit different. There's no intro music today, and the video is a little bit different because I'm actually recording from my phone live from Instagram, but I'm not posting it on Instagram. I'm just checking to see if I can actually film on my phone because I like the lighting on Instagram anyway. Because my husband has been busy lately and there's a lot been going on and he's not able to edit my videos. So, when he's not able to, I decided, to record from my phone and, and to stay consistent on my channel because I promised that I'll be consistent and have videos out and I'm already behind. So hopefully this works. And I'm sorry for the audio because I don't have a mic. But I am here to, share some stuff with you guys. So just bear with me. So if you haven't already, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can be notified for future videos that I post every Friday. And for those of you who have been following, have been subscribing and supporting me, thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate it. And today we are going to be talking about topic around motherhood. I know on my channel most of the time I talk a lot about fitness, but I like to also delve into like motherhood and wellness business. So today will be all about motherhood, and today is gonna be what is the hard part of motherhood. What makes it so hard. It's a blessing. First of all, I want to say it's a blessing to be a mother, and that kids are a blessing. It has its perks and it has its, I would say, it can be challenging at times, but you live and you learn like everything else. So I'll say a few things that is hard about being motherhood is one of the big ones that, from my opinion and from speaking to friends who have kids and people that I have spoken to who are mothers, is guilt. It's like the most common thing, whether you're a very successful person or you are middle class or you're like stay-at-home mom, whatever stage you are in your life. When you're a mother, it's that guilt. Guilt is one of them. Excuse me. And another one is just finding time for yourself. I guess that also goes with guilt because feeling bad that you're actually doing something for yourself. And comparison. I think comparison is one of the big things that is hard about motherhood. And I'll get in more into about guilt. The reason why I say guilt is because from my experience and what I've heard from other mothers is that, you feel like you're not doing enough. No matter what you're doing, like you feel like you're not spending enough time with your kids, whether you're someone who is an entrepreneur or you work a 9-to-5 job, or even when you're a stay-at-home mom, you feel like you're not spending enough kids because, for example, if you're a stay-at-home mom, you have so many things you need to do. You have chores you need to do. There's like other commitments that you need to do. You're not just sitting around home doing nothing. Like there's always something that you need to do. You need to hold the house down while your spouse is out working. So you have to handle everything else while they're working. And sometimes that can put, time with your kids on the wayside and you feel guilty and you're not spending enough time with them. You feel guilty that maybe you're not parenting right. You feel guilty like when you reprimand them or you punish them and you feel like maybe you're being too harsh or maybe you're not being harsh enough. And also the guilt comes when, sometimes it comes from, you know, when people are like criticizing how you do stuff or how you choose to parent, and it is just a lot. There's just so much guilt, and there's always that guilt when you go back to work after you've had the baby and your maternity leave is over. There's a guilt also of going back to work, and it just that guilt feels like it just doesn't go away. And I hear that from mothers who have older kids that are grown, and they say that you just continue having that guilt because you just never stop being a parent. You know, it's a job that just never ends. You're a mother 24/7, and you know, you're just always going to be filled with guilt and worry. That's another thing. It's just you're constantly worrying. You're worrying about every stage your kid goes through. There's something you worry about, and it's just, I think those are the two big things that is hard about motherhood. And then there's a comparison. The reason why I say comparison is because, you know, when you're in the mommy groups, or when you have friends who are moms, and you know people that in your circle that are moms, one of the things you're going to talk about is how your kids are doing, like on each stage in their life, like what have they achieved, what are they doing, what have they done that is so great. And if you're in the same stage, if your kids are on the same stage as that mom's kids, you start comparing as like, oh, like for example, they'll say, oh, my kids start walking at 10 months. And your kid is like 10 or 11 months and is still not walking. And you're like, oh my gosh, like what's wrong with my kid? You know, why isn't he or she doing that? How come, her kid is doing that? Or they'll be like, oh, my kid is like talking and start talking at like 1, and your kid is like almost 3 and is having speech problems. And you're like, oh my God, is my child like, is there something wrong with them development with their development? Is they, are they going through something? Am I doing something wrong? Are they behind? It's just so many things that just run around in your head, and you will have like the craziest, I think as moms, we have like the craziest scenarios in our heads. We just always think of the worst case scenarios when it comes to our kids. And it's just like the wrong narrative. It's nothing that is true. It's just something that we just build up in our heads. So it's just guilt, worry, and comparisons are like the most common things that a lot of mothers face, and which is hard about motherhood because it just happens. It's you just you feel like you can control it, but it just keeps on like hitting you like, oh my gosh, I'm not spending enough time with my kids. Oh, why am my kid not doing this? And so kid is doing this. Oh my gosh, what if my kid gets hurt and breaks their arm and leg and all this? So it's just a lot of stuff. And, a tip I would like to give for, especially mothers who have, kids, little kids, because I don't have teenagers. I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. And right now, the challenging time I'm having right now is with my 3-year-old. I'm potty training him, and it's been a challenge. And I'm trying not to compare him to other boys who have potty trained and how long it took for them, because every kid is different. But one thing I would like to say is that when it comes to kids, that I've learned so far is that everything has a season. It does not last forever. It's not like, oh my God, it's this way and my kid is going to be like this. There's a season for everything. And for example, I'll give you my own example for my family, and show you how things can turn out, how everything is a season. For me, I am the firstborn in the family. I was, I was delayed in speech. Here in America, you have speech therapy. back then, and I was in Africa, there's no such thing as speech therapy. So my parents were worried that I wouldn't be able to talk. I wasn't saying a single word. And when it was time for me to like actually talk, I think it was around 2 3, I wasn't really saying much. And all I had with me, I didn't have my siblings yet. I was the only child for 3 years, and I didn't have anybody, with me. I was, with a dog all the time because my parents worked. And they said all I did was just like, say dog sound, make dog sounds, because I was always playing with the dog. So I love dogs, and I'm not afraid of dogs because we just grew up with dogs. Anyway, so I was delayed in speech, and then they had to have my cousin stay with me. In America it'd be for the summer, in my country is for the holiday, so that I'll start speaking and start talking. So that's how they got me into talking. And then I was late in starting first grade. I was a year behind, not because how it is here in America, because both my kids are going to be a year behind because of when they were born. My son is October, my daughter is November, and the school year starts in September. So they had to wait a year to actually start school, because of how the school system is. Well, in my country, Zimbabwe, is totally different. Our school year starts January, just like the year, and ends December. So it's got nothing to do with your birthday. If you were born in November, you can start school at 5 years old, and it doesn't matter that you're 5 and you're going to turn 6 in November. You can start first grade if you're ready. So for me, it was like they said I was too small, and I think they thought I wasn't ready. So I was 1 year late to start school. So that's two things. I had problems with speech, and then I was a year behind in school. So, and then another thing is that I was very clingy because I was the firstborn. So I was very clingy, and like I wanted to be with my parents all the time. There's even a picture of me. I wish I had it. I could show you guys, of me just throwing a tantrum. I don't know why they took a picture of me like that. That was mean. But anyway, throwing a tantrum while my grandmother's holding me because they were leaving me with her and they were going back home. And my grandparents, they were living on a farm, and it was like 8 hours away from home. So I was upset, and I didn't like the fact that they left me behind. So I was a clingy kid. That's another thing. I struggled in school. I used to have a tutor, especially in high school. I used to have a tutor to help me with math, with sciences, because I struggled in those. While everybody else was having a good time on their holidays, I would have a tutor like 2 to 3 times, twice a week, I think. And I hated reading. My dad would always like tell us to read and ask us like what we read about and all that stuff. And I hated reading. I didn't like reading. And so all these things happened, and I was a kid that always got sick. I would have stomach aches, I'll throw up, constipated. Like, I feel sorry for my mother because she went through a lot with me and my siblings. But if you look at us now, you wouldn't think we went through all those things. I love reading now. Growing up, once I left high school, I grew a love for reading, and all these books. I have all these books back here in my office. I love reading. I love ebooks. I love audiobooks. I love physical books. And when I was a kid, I hated reading. I did well in high school, and I graduated from college. Even though as a kid, I had speech issues, as a little baby before going to kindergarten. I had speech issues. I had to have a cousin to help me to talk. And I was a year behind in school. That did not hinder me because I ended up doing well later on in school. I finished college, graduated, got a bachelor, and I am super independent. I went to college in a totally different continent, and then went back home, and then I came to another continent and started a family. And this is somebody who was super clingy as a little kid, and was shy, and so this is just to show you that everything has a season. Just remember, when it comes to like trials or any challenges with your kids at any stage, just tell yourself, this is just a season, it'll be over. Learn from it. Tell yourself this could be something that can help another mother who might go through the same thing, and you can help them with that because you experience it, and you can show them how you went through with it. And every challenge I go through now, I just see it as a learning experience, and to make me stronger as a mother, and also as a testimony to help somebody out there who needs my help. For example, I used to struggle with breastfeeding with my kids. Now I can give advice to people on how if they're struggling with the same things I did, what I did to combat it, and what really, and if it doesn't work, that it's okay. You can find different alternatives. So that's how I see it. Motherhood is such a blessing. So many people dream to be mothers, and I will say it's a blessing. Don't be discouraged. Don't listen to like the negative stuff. You will face challenges with kids, but see it as a learning experience, and see it as it's just a season. It's not going to last forever. You're going to look back and be like, oh my gosh, remember when my kid did this and this and this? I do that with my daughter all the time when I'm facing challenges with my son. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I remember when my daughter used to do the same thing, and look at her now. Like my daughter used to be super clingy, and now she is like independent. She doesn't like me to do stuff for her. She wants to do it herself. So it's just, that's just one tip I will give to you guys, is to see it as a season. Oh, two tips. And to see it as also a testimonial in the future, and a way to help a future mother that you come in contact with. So I hope that was super helpful for you guys, and that will help you if you are a mother. I know it's tough. And also, being guilty to take care of yourself, and, finding that time for yourself can be challenging. I still find it challenging sometimes right now, even though I love to talk about it and I want to help people to take care of themselves. Sometimes it's a challenge for me too. But you only need a few minutes. You only need a few minutes to take care of yourself. And you'll understand, when you take care of yourself, you're able to take care of your kids, your family, because your cup will be full. You can help with an empty cup. And that's all I gotta say to you guys, and I hope that is super helpful. Again, sorry if the audio is different. Hopefully it's not too echoey. This is, hopefully I'll be able to come back the following Friday with a video that is edited and done by camera, not by phone. But hopefully you enjoyed this, and I hope it wasn't too long. And if it is, I'm sorry. I didn't time myself to make sure that it's not too long, and I wanted to take advantage of this fact that my son is taking a nap right now. So I just wanted to give this to you guys while he is, he's out. So hopefully this was helpful. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notifications bell to be notified of each video that is posted on Fridays. So I will see you guys again later. Thanks for watching. Bye.